Hello and welcome to Mugging Up Bunch podcast. Now, I'm going to make an apology. We were supposed to be talking about Top Totty in Star Trek, but me and Keith both had really busy weeks. I still have a busy week coming up next week, so hopefully we'll get it through. I did manage to put together a list of all the Top Totty from the TOS, and Keith managed to watch most of the TOS to find Top Totty in TOS. So we've got that covered. Next Generation is a lot easier. Deep Space Nine is a lot easier. Star Trek Voyager, it's quite dry Top Totty wise in comparison. Deep Space Nine's got a lot more. Fashion was much better in TOS, so I have to say that. It's much nicer clothing. Couple of dirty old men.
Dude, it's the 60s and a mini skirt. That's all I'm saying.
It was, it was much more insane, and both of us have it didn't help because on Friday when I did have a chance to put it all together, Spider-Man 2 arrived in the post, and I've been playing Spider-Man 2 a lot. I've been just like glued to it all weekend. I've really enjoyed it. There's some bits in it that are fucking obnoxious, but most of it's Miles stuff. I'll be honest with you. It's stuff. It's not Miles himself. It's stuff associated with Miles. It's like everything to do with his school.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give you. No, we'll wait. We will wait. We have two news articles. One that Keith's bought, courtesy of Nigel, and one that I've bought, courtesy just because it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing your one because I actually hadn't heard it, but.
You haven't heard this one.
Bless him. Sent this a couple of weeks ago. We were meant to cover it last week, but I forgot. My favourite rant subject, George R. Lazy bastard Martin. Write your fucking book, Martin. So yeah, apparently, courtesy of Nige, he is suing the makers of ChatGPT after a fan used it to finish the final two books of A Song of Fire and Ice, or rather Game of Thrones to those of you who only know the TV series. This is because he hasn't released the final two books, promising fans for the last fucking God knows how many years. I think we're into the 11th or 12th year now. That he's going to write the books, and he's sat on his lazy fat ass and done fuck all. To put it into perspective, the Expanse novels and a load of novellas and an entire fucking universe was created, finished, written, and done in between him releasing the last freaking Game of Thrones book and whenever this next one is going to come, which I don't think is ever going to come. And so two fans having, waited for a considerable amount of time went, fuck it. We'll just see what AI can do. And apparently AI did a very good job. So George R. R. Martin is suing them. Well, fuck you, George. So, right, there you go. Mild rant. But
mild rant.
I think this is indicative of a large conversation at the moment because let's face it, writing ain't great at the moment. It was only a few years ago that we were living in the golden age of TV where we were saying, brilliant TV, there was lots of good TV, and then all of a sudden it kind of went down the drain. I think mainly because streaming services came out and, it was just product after product after product. And Secret Invasion comes to mind, and Gareth and I were just talking about this previously. I think we did this on an episode where we fed one of these AI things.
ChatGPT.
We asked ChatGPT to write a symbiosis or plot for Secret Invasion, and it did a much better fucking job than these writers did for Disney Plus. And it just, to me, I think if the writers are not careful, the thing that they went on strike about, the thing that they're scared of most, might come to pass because, well, you're either too fucking lazy to write or you're too shit to write. And there aren't that many good writers at the moment. The House of Mouse, it has, it's more like, when are they next going to release a hit movie? Now, I was thinking about this the other week. When John Carpenter came out, not John Carpenter, what was it? John of something of Mars, right? It was this huge thing because it flopped, and Disney very rarely made a flop movie. I don't think they've had a hit movie this year. Not one. Indiana Jones, which was predicted to make over 800 million, made a third of its, predicted profit, a third. You've had, several Pixar films, and Pixar films always made money. Nope. We've had several other films I can't even think of that have come from Disney that haven't done very well. And it's partly to do with the writing. You look at Loki, the current season. Marvel.
Well, apparently they were making 300 TV shows a year, and they've upped it to 600.
I can't think of one that's good. I mean, it's... I can't think of anything that's really that good. I haven't really seen... Go on.
I'll give you an example of the fact that they're trying to... I think that there is a tilt towards quality, hopefully. Apparently, the Marvels 2 is tested so horrendously. It's got everyone going, oh my God, this is going to be bad. And then they checked Daredevil. And because Daredevil's got a very clear kind of watermark of what Daredevil should be, they would create a procedural legal show with Matt Murdock in, and they filmed 8 episodes, and they went, this is shit. And for Disney to say, this is shit, God, it's got to be shit. I mean, really shit.
They put out She-Hulk. They put that out. They actually put that.
You know what gets me with She-Hulk is when you listen to the quality of the writers in there. None of them had written comedy. None of them had written legal procedure drama, and none of them had done any writing really. Me and you would have done a better job with ChatGPT, and it would cost like 20 quid a month for ChatGPT, so we could have saved them a ton of money. The people that we could have introduced to the writers' room could be the people who go and fetch our coffee and read our stuff to make sure it's not crap. And we'd have made an absolute fortune. But it's... when are the money men stepping in and saying, how's this making us money? That's the bit that gets me.
I don't understand how it's not in the news. I don't understand how Disney, a company as big as Disney, has not had a single fucking hit this year. And sorry, John Carter. Now, I liked that movie. I thought it was a good movie, but it flopped. And it was the biggest entertainment news story of that year because Disney had spent all this money on a movie and it flopped. And it was this huge thing, right? You look at Indiana Jones, right? And this is how strong, and Disney control the media. This is the problem. And I think this is part of the problem. That Disney have their fingers in so many legacy media companies and online companies that it's a byline in a back page story that Indiana Jones only made 353. Where is the huge news story? An Indiana Jones movie flopped. Where is it? It should be all over the entertainment news, but it's not. I keep seeing all these fucking Rachel Ziegler posts at the moment going how amazing she is. They are desperately trying to rehabilitate this silly cow, right?
Dude, that's no one wants to work with her. because apparently all the stupid things that she said looks like it's going to tank the prequel to the Mockingbird trilogy or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yes, it is, because people are not
Hunger
going
Games.
to see
Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
and they keep trying to rehabilitate her. And look, this is the type of person that she was. She attacks everyone, right? That doesn't use pronouns. She attacked what's her face, Star Wars girl that got sacked, because she didn't use Gina Carano. She attacked her and sent her followers, actively sort of sent her followers after Gina Carano, right? And then when all this shit came out about her, she's on social media going, can everybody just be a bit kinder and all this kind of, just Gina Carano just went boom back at her like that, and she blocked it. She is a vile, nasty, narcissistic bitch, right? She does not deserve redemption.
Do you know what? Still, what gets me? She was talking about Snow White, and she was like, kind of, oh, it needs updating, blah blah blah. There's an expression. It goes like this. It's called timeless classic, which means it's around forever. And I don't want to sound rude or anything. Disney built their entire fucking company on the success of that movie. And somehow she thinks they're going to make it better. Piss off. As I said before, what they should have done is they should have just gone, Pixar, remake this. Literally. Find notes to say that we missed something in the original movie. Maybe redo the faces to match the equivalent of the faces that they used in the 40s to map those people on, because they're doing, like, I think it's called rotoscoping, where you pretty much trace the face of the person. Do that. Yeah? That's all we ask. So, like, Glenn Close as the evil witch, something along those lines.
Oh, she would be good. I do not understand why we don't have these news stories. You know, where are the shareholders going? What the fuck?
Oh no,
there is something going on that we don't know about. How does Bob Iger still have a job? How does Kathleen Kennedy still have a fucking job? Right? And how does Kevin Feige have a job? How?
Keith, they are starting to come under attack. They are getting shitty things written about them, because I think the money that they used to pay these people is drying up.
I think it is going to come out, but I still think they're suppressing stories. Disney haven't had a single hit. Elemental flopped. Little Mermaid flopped. Right? They
Strange
were
Worlds
commercial,
commercial
failures. Yeah. Where are the news stories going? Why can't Disney make a hit movie? Because Disney hasn't made a hit movie. When was their last hit movie? When? Technically, their last fucking hit movie was a few years ago. And I think it was either one of the, I don't know what it was. I don't know what's gone over $1 billion from Disney recently, you know, or even
that last one was not 2019 Endgame. Oh no, wrong. Avatar.
Did Avatar do well? Avatar 2.
2 million.
2
billion. Sorry.
One hit movie.
Billion. It did 2 billion.
One hit movie.
But, pardon?
That's one hit movie in what?
But that's not really their movie. They just let James Cameron do his own thing.
Well, actually, I mean, when it was commissioned, it wasn't even commissioned by Disney. It was because they bought Fox, and it had already been commissioned. It's Pixar, who were a hit factory, cannot make a good movie. Disney Plus, you know, there's so much fluff on it. I mean, Biff was right. There's so much fluff on it. You know, what's the point?
Right, so there is a little internal battle going on with Disney at the moment. There's a guy called Nelson Peltz. Nelson Peltz is trying to get them to push back and move away from this LGBTQ stuff and move to family stuff, because family's a bigger audience. They're also a more loyal audience too. Most of the loyalties come from the back end of that than it has from the LGBT community. So he's trying to. He's doubled his shares. He tried to push for a seat on the board so he could start influencing things. He wasn't allowed to. He turned around and goes, "Okay, fair enough, Mr. Iger. I'll give you your chance, and we'll see how you do." And now everything's starting to turn against Bob, because all this the dumb stuff that he done when he bought Fox for. He shouldn't have done that. This is when we do the Gaming Face Punch podcast, we talk about Microsoft buying Blizzard Activision for $69 billion. Yeah, they bought Bethesda for $4 billion. That was worth the $4 billion that they spent, but 69 for Activision. They produce 4 games at the moment. One of them's Call of Duty. Okay, it's a big game. They should have just bought Call of Duty off of them and had done with it, because that's what they really wanted. But it's this thing with the Disney thing is they're gonna have to fucking collapse for things to work. They talked about splitting things out. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, the parks are the bits that have always made the money. They've always managed to get money off the back end of the parks in comparison to the films and the TV series. They've always the parks have supported them until COVID hit, and then that caused an issue. And then they like dipsticks backed the guy in California who was keeping their parks closed, and not back the guy in Florida who was allowing them to open their parks, which I found amazingly stupid. But something needs to change inside for them to do this.
I hate to say this because I know I said this a few weeks ago. I can see them spinning off the parks to protect them. I can see Disney becoming an amusement parks only company if they're not careful. I genuinely see it, because they have to protect the parks. The parks are the one thing that is making them money, because their entertainment industry isn't. It isn't. I mean, if we are to believe the numbers of Ahsoka, which was just this nothing series, and it really fucking annoys me, because I keep seeing people going, "Oh, Sabine Wren was a shit character," and if you've only watched Ahsoka, yeah, she was. But if you'd seen Rebels, she's a fucking awesome character. As is Ahsoka. Had you watched Rebels and things like that, and an 8-episode series has destroyed it overnight, and it annoys me.
I don't. There's no quality control in there whatsoever.
No,
it really gets on my tits. And apparently, it costs like 220 million to make that TV series. And it's like, good dude, what could you do with 220 million? I'll be honest with you, if I could probably go on YouTube, find a group of fans, who make Star Wars stuff, and say, hey, we'll give you access to the production crew, we'll allow you to see the stuff, you work for us, we own the stuff at the end of the day, but we'll allow you to make something. I bet you any money they would make something better.
Again, I was thinking about this, and I'm thinking of sort of, doing a video or some kind of video essay on this. The only good you don't have to like it to sort of respect the fact that they did Andor. Andor is the only brave thing that they've done, because they took Star Wars and they did something different with it. Now, you don't have to like Andor. I did. I get why people don't. That it was a slow burning series. It was very different, but you needed to do something. This is what they should have done. They should have taken Andor, taken Star Wars and done brave things with it. Done something like Andor. You don't have to like it to respect it. It was different. The only 2 good things that they've done with Star Wars, in my opinion, was Rogue One and this. Now, I get why people don't like it. I respect that you might not like it, but at least it was something original. At least it was something that was attempting to do something that was not, next product, please. At least it had some passion behind it, some intelligence behind it. Whereas, and I know I'm shoehorning in Star Wars, and I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm talking about it because I was trying to think, what have you done recently? Because you haven't done it with Marvel. I mean, Scarlet Witch, arguably those first few episodes, you could argue that it was something different, but then it just went shit. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yes,
that's all they really had to do. That's all they had to do. They had all those things. They should have just done that. And then they had George Lucas's treatment for the next 3 Star Wars films, which they threw out.
Bob Iger.
What a fucking dumb Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, JJ, between the 3 of them.
And I'm sorry, but Kevin Feige, ever since he started putting his names on these movies, they've been shit. Ever since it's Kevin Feige production, you keep putting your name on those turds. Keep on doing it, Kev.
Do you want to hear something funny? Come on, let's just talk about something funny. Apparently, Jason Momoa turned up to the set of Aquaman 2 drunk, demanding that Amber Heard be fired. Dressed as Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean.
I love
that.
I cannot.
I love that.
Having watched so much of that fucking trial, right, and watching how both of these people handled themselves, right? I don't know how there are people still out there defending Amber Heard. I do not understand it, because out of the two, I don't care if I personally, I think it was six a dozen and half of the other. I think they both were in a destructive relationship, and they both behaved badly, as you do in relationships. When everybody who is married knows that you have arguments. Sometimes you're a dick, sometimes you're righteous. It's just the way things go. Right, that's a relationship. Their relationship was a poisonous, destructive relationship. But the way they conducted themselves in court showed their personalities. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying this because he's a man, or because he's famous, or because he played Jack Sparrow. He just came out as a nicer guy, and Amber Heard looked like a complete fucking cow. So I love it. Good on you, Moa. I love it. But then I've always wanted to meet him. I mean, I'm slightly jealous of your wife, because I kind of got a bit of a man crush on him. I'd probably go, oh, yeah, that's Jason.
Fuck off. No. No, you're not allowed to. No.
I'm with your wife. I'm sorry. I'm with your wife. Tanith, if you're watching, I'm with you. I want to meet him. He is a man's man. And I genuinely want to meet him. I do. I'm sorry. But I want to have a beer with him. He's just. I want to go down the pub with him. He'll drink me under the table.
Do you know what I like? Is if every so often you check, he still hangs around with the people from Stargate Atlantis. Like on his birthday, his birthday before COVID, he took them all to Vegas, and it was like they took like some of the people who were just like the side characters too.
Jason Momoa was Every in Star Trek.
Was ever in Star Trek?
I don't think so. He was Stargate. No. That's where I first met him, Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah.
And he played, but I remember because he played a bit of a grumpy guy, but every time you saw him interviewed backstage, he was always this playful dude. He's much more like, apparently he's a bit more like his character. It's not as camp, but he's a bit more like his Fast and the Furious character than the funny side, not the evil sadistic side. But I apparently he's genuinely a nice bloke. There are not many bad things said about him. There aren't that many bad news stories about him, and he seems to be genuinely quite a nice guy. And I love that. I love the fact that he turns up on stage drunk, dressed as Johnny Depp, demanding Amber Heard be fired. Brilliant.
I think that's what I want to hear.
I love the guy.
He played. He was Ronin in Stargate Atlantis, and it's funny because you say he played quite a
Jason Momoa was the Teo of Star Trek Atlantis. Yes, I get what you mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you know the funny thing is Christopher Judge too, who came across as stoic and that, apparently who's a fucking awful prankster.
Yes, he is.
He would wind up the rest of the crew by playing some awful pranks, and I think that the guy who played Daniel Jackson de-stringed his guitar to teach him a lesson. It's just like, fuck this.
But again, I love that. I love. I'm going to go and see Aquaman 2 if it ever comes out. I will go and see it because I like Momoa. I do. I like it. Can we talk about the Pandaverse?
No, I haven't seen that. We've not seen the Pandaverse.
What is this?
This is South Park. You sent me the clip.
I sent you the trailer for this the other day. Oh, this looks amazing. This looks so fucking spot on.
The best bit in the clip is where you've got Carl sitting in the principal office going, "Is this acceptable?" And he turns around and goes, "Are you racist?" Like that. And I'm just like, I wonder what my problem is how did it take them so bloody long to get there?
I think they've been hinting at it for a while, but they've been covering other things. The series they've done something, but every time they get a special, they have done some really sort of out there shit having a go, and it's been building to this. Yes, I am looking forward to this. I love South Park. South Park went crap for a while, but for the last few years, South Park has hit the nail so well. It is a mirror on Hollywood, and its satire is genius. I mean, its satire is just genius. Those deep fakes they did of Trump a few years ago. Trump was
that was the best. That was the funniest. That was the funniest thing with Peter Serafinowicz.
Yeah.
Oh my god, where it was Sassy Justice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It was so funny. I was hoping for more of them. I really was. I just was like, kind of, please have more of this because this is brilliant. Because you had him, and then you had, what was it? Mark Zuckerberg, the dialysis king. That was fantastic.
Genius. Genius.
It was so good. It was the funniest thing, the funniest Trump joke I've seen because they just leant into it from a different angle. Because everything else was just being mean to him rather than actually telling a joke, and they actually bothered to tell a joke, which I appreciate. Hang on a second. I just want to do this.
And you may have been drunk in that video, correct?
There's a possibility of that, yes, sir.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
I love it. I'm sorry. I know that he probably he can probably be a bit of a nasty drunk. I don't know. When I started hearing all the shit about Johnny Depp, I just thought that doesn't ring true with what you hear. It just doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. And I, despite the people that say in the court case, oh, it was because people love him. Yeah, there's a reason. There is a reason people love him. These people that act like complete shits and are loved by people karma tends to get them in the end. It does. It comes out. It does. It's rare that a person is never discovered. And I just don't believe Johnny Depp's the arsehole that he was made out of, a mega pint. A mega pint of red wine.
That's the thing that gets me, because that's kind of, a mega pint of red wine.
It always reminds me once, we had a friend, and bless him, bit naive. We were in a pub once, and he's not a drinker. And he was buying around, which was very nice of him. And my mate asked for a Rioja, and he walks up to the bar and goes, "I'll have 2 pints of Foster's and a pint of Rioja."
Malbec too.
Every time I see that clip, I'll have a mega pint with a pint of Rioja. Anyway, I'm sure that we want to talk about the main event today. So, I had it. I had this. It was brilliant. I woke up Friday morning, and I just had this message on my Sony app: Spider-Man 2 is ready to play. I was like, God damn it! I got to work. God damn it! So, gone through my work early. Like Spider-Man 2. I have been playing it like literally. Even if I only get like 10 minutes, I'll sit down and play some of it. So like I do some of the little extra things. So like, collecting all the fucking various bits, playing as Miles and collecting his uncle's bits, tech things, and doing those little missions.
His uncle's bits.
Doing the spider.
It's just like he's been blown up into pieces. Reassembling.
I have to say, right, the first thing so far, it's been really balanced if you leave it up to the game between the two, but you don't have to leave it up to the game. So you can play as Peter almost the whole way through, and I actually like swap between the two of them. So, because I kind of like the differences between the two.
I wouldn't say it's right. So it goes like right. So I wouldn't say it's balanced. I think I might have played more of the game. I've set about
We're in the same.
44%.
That's because you're doing all the collections, so aren't you?
Doing everything. I'm gonna fucking 100% that at the end of the game. That last mission, 100% him. I've got all the little spider bot bits. I got all the prowler costume bits. I met the pigeon guy. Have you met the pigeon guy?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's not good. Right. So all right. So this is an example. Right. So there's some horrible fucking modern day politics crammed crowbarred in there, which I really don't like.
Where?
Okay. So I'll give you an example. This is then. Wait until I finish the example first. So you've got a Peter mission where he gets like a request to go and help this woman whose father's gone missing. He's an old fella. He's gone missing. You track him through the park and that. He's sitting on a bench. He tells you how he met his wife here, blah, blah, blah. And he says his mind's going and it's, everything's getting a bit dim. Yeah. So that's him. Yeah. You then cut to Miles, who gets a mission. And his mission is to help a gay guy called VJ ask his school crush out on a date at the school. And I'm like, And then there's the bit where you're chasing down the rival school, and one of the first thing you get is like this whole expression that I hear nowhere in real life. I only ever hear it from social justice world, is BIPOC. People are people. Can we just call people people? I like people being people.
What's that BIPOC?
You're an arsehole or not an arsehole? Pardon?
What's what?
BIPOC.
What the fuck is that? I've never even heard that. Thank God. What does that?
Because I want outside social justice warriors uses that term. Also, you got Miles Morales' girlfriend who is black, deaf, and bisexual.
Oh, she's bisexual.
Did you not notice the coat with the colours on?
No, I thought she was quite sweet in the Miles Morales game.
Oh no, in the Miles Morales game, she was probably straight, but because they want to really dial it up, they should have put her in a wheelchair. They could have finished the whole fucking thing off.
I got one cringe moment because when you do the Felicia mission, and you rescue Felicia, and she does, which I kind of like the sort of magic thing, and I like that she was using magic. She then mentions her girlfriend. I was like, oh, fuck off.
Oh, no. Hang on a second. And this was Miles Morales. It's not just hit that. Mary Jane's reaction to her. Did you not pay attention to Mary Jane's reaction to her?
No.
If you get a chance, go back and pay attention to Mary Jane's reaction to her.
Oh, God.
Because it sounds like they had an affair. And I'm just like, oh, fuck me. Can we not? And it's all on. And the thing is I actually like Miles in the game. I really like Miles in the game.
I do as well.
But the problem is Miles is associated with all the shit stuff. Peter seems to be associated with the tragic stuff. Yeah. So he meets the guy, the old fella. I'm going to spoiler warning, Keith. The pigeon guy. It's not a big spoiler warning. Yeah. Pigeon guy dies. And it's really tragic because you go to this harbour and you sit down and you have a nice chat with Pigeon Guy and he turns around and goes, look, can you find somewhere for these pigeons to live? And you go, all right, I'll find somewhere for pigeons to live. You go back and he talks about kind of how he wants to go on a big trip and this, that and the other, and he's imagining all this cool stuff. And everything's getting a bit dim and this, that and the other. And he sounds a bit maudlin. Anyway, you go off and you take these pigeons to pretty much nest near where you live. You come back. The ambulance is there, and they didn't get there in time, and he's dead. But
It's Spider-Man.
That's more Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's quite. If you know anything about Spider-Man story, they're always fucking tragic. Yeah, Gwen Stacy's dad. Does anyone called Stacy?
Yeah. Although the little video you sent, wondering if they're going for the third one, the multiverse, which.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I like Harry, and I know what's coming, and that bothers me. It bothers me because I actually genuinely quite like Harry. Look, I'm glad I don't know what that means, because these people that use these acronyms and terms like that, they're more racist than normal people, because actually, as Gareth said, people are people. I don't give a shit what colour your fucking skin is. Are you an arsehole or not?
Do you know what? I deal with people from all over the world in my job, yeah,
Me too.
and because I deal with people from all over the world, no one outside our HR department talks like this.
No.
They're all just our thing is, are they an arsehole or not? Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, most of our arseholes all exist in sales, or there are really big customers. Yeah, and it's funny because it's the question is we've only got like a thin line of arseholes, and it's just if you just take people for being fucking, it drives me wild. I don't want to separate people out. That's dumb. I want to know if you're an arsehole or not. That's the only question that matters. Really is. And having this stuff being crammed in here is awful. But when I look past it, because I can look past it because I can play the game, and there's plenty of people to punch in the face, which always makes things nice. The combat's fairly fluid. The more you upgrade the character, the more fluid it gets. I'm getting to that point where I was like with the original one, where I can just muller everyone. I've got was it Craven, the Hunters group I'm fighting at the moment.
I find the R1 and a button, or the L1 and a button. I've got to reprogram those to these actually. I think on the control I've got to reprogram them, because I don't like the gadget. The gadget controls were easier on the first game. I don't. The first game was so damn good, and there were problems with it, but the first game's mechanics and fighting control, I enjoyed, and I didn't see the need to change it. You could have had new gadgets, you could have had a few new moves, but you didn't. It worked for me, and they've changed that in this. And I'm playing the game, and it's not doing what I want it to do because I can't trigger certain things, and that bothers me a bit. But on the other hand, there are things in here that I really do like where you have to, and it's quite difficult for me, but I like it where they're actually using the sort of sensitivity of the triggers, and you've got to balance them to unlock certain things. That's really good. I like that. I thought that was kind of cool. And I have to say, at the moment, I'm enjoying most of the story. I kind of love that Tombstone's gone good, and Quentin Beck is, because I thought, the one thing I was thinking, it was really funny because I thought, right, we've pretty much had every Spider-Man bad guy, right, in this so far, but we haven't had Mysterio yet. Are they saving him for the next one? Is he going to be like, the big tentpole bad guy? Yeah, well, I know that. So that's what's clearly coming, though. That's what's going to happen. I know what's coming with Harry, and that's what bothers me so badly. Because at the moment, I generally like Harry, so it's going to be a tragedy. And I like Peter's relationship with him in this. The game nails it.
The other thing, too, is Norman Osborn's not an arsehole in this.
He's a bit cagey, but yes. He's not.
Oh, no, right. He's cagey, but he's not an arsehole. There's definitely been cagey and an arsehole. He's got the face of Walter Peck from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I know.
I think, I don't know, I have to check to see if it's the voice actor who does it, but he's got the face of Walter Peck for Ghostbusters because they wanted to make you think he was an arsehole. They went to that much detail. It's like, what actor looks like an arsehole? Someone associated with New York, and they went, oh, remember that guy from the environmental agency from Ghostbusters? Yeah, so I've been playing it in a way where it's main mission, all the side missions unlock, do all the side missions, go to the main mission, and then I've just been doing all that all the way through. So I unlocked all the prowler bits. I've been unlocking all the tech and the what do you call it, the upgrades and stuff as I've been going through, and it's been really, really good. Just having that, apart from the dumb woke stuff, and I'm annoyed because, as I said before, I like Miles. I like it when you get into a fight and Miles turns up and helps you.
Yeah,
that suddenly puts a smile on my fucking face.
I like the two of them, depending on who you play at. When you this is gonna say, when you double, let's not say double team. Let's say when you double fuck up the guy, right? The two of you do it, and they do the or the thing, when you get an assist from one of Spider-Man. I love the little comical moments there.
What I like too is if you have you unlocked Yuri yet?
No.
Okay, because Yuri will do the same with you too.
I haven't done all the side missions that you've done. I've been sort of playing the main missions. Really, I should get into doing the side missions. I do the odd crime. When a crime pops up, I get rid of the crime, but I should really start doing like the app missions and things like that, I suppose. Although now what you're saying is going to probably fill me, because the Felicia thing got me a bit. It's like, no, look, Felicia, for fuck's sake, Felicia
right. So hang on
is a man, not a womanizer. She's a
femme
mananizer.
fatale.
Yeah, she is. She's a femme fatale. She's a yeah. She's not gay. I'm sorry, but she's not gay, and it's just shoehorned.
And do you know what really annoyed me is that in the DLC she was talking about having a kid and looking after a kid.
Yeah,
and I was expecting it to be the kid that she was talking about, and that would make more sense.
I'm fed up, and this is happening in video games so much now. The same shit that's infecting Hollywood is now affecting games. We do not need every character does. If it's an existing character, stop making them gay. You did it with 7 and 9. It pisses me off. You did it, although I think Terry Matalas kind of wound that back in Picard season 3. Let's hope he does that in Legacy, which is going to happen.
Okay.
But
right. Sorry. Just on a note. It's the guy who plays Norman Osborn is the one who played not Gorman, Drake in Aliens, Mark Rolston. And he looks like him too. Hang on a second. Let me just see if I can bring up a picture. Right. So you carry on. Sorry, it was one of those things I had to go and look it up.
It just bothers me, all this shoot, and it just takes you out the game. It takes you out the game. You give me a new character, right? And they go, fine. If schools in America being that, I don't buy it. I don't buy that schools are like that. But okay, Miles chasing down somebody's boyfriend, I can live with that if it was just that. But Felicia being gay and now his girlfriend, oh yeah, now I see it.
Yeah, just put the hair and he's got more hair.
And the girlfriend, and now you're telling me Miles's girlfriend is bisexual. Fuck's sake. She was just sweet in the other one. And the thing is, I like Miles. I genuinely like Miles, and it's the game and then the multiverse Spider-Man cartoons that really have made me like the Miles character. I know what you're saying.
He is a derivative character. He is. I do believe he is. Fucking ground zero for all of this. But saying that, he's derivative. He should have been given another name that wasn't Spider-Man. The one in the game I like as a character. I actually like him as a character. I like him more than I do in the Into the Spider-Verse one. He's all right in Into the Spider-Verse, but I like him more in the game. The downside is that he's been given all the.
He's more fleshed out in the game. His backstory is more fleshed out in the game because he's black. And it's true. He's more fleshed out in the game. And I like his relationship with Peter. I like the relationship. I like his cockiness. And I like the black and red spider suit. It's fucking cool. I like playing Peter just as much. It bothers me that they changed Peter's face, but now I'm getting used to it. They changed Mary Jane's face as well.
Right. So my issue with Peter's face is that they've kind of fucked and it's the same with Mary Jane. They kind of fucked the detail up around the eyes. And when you put the three of them together and you put them next to Harry especially, you can see that the eyes haven't been. Whoever was the artist hadn't done the eyes as well. And you pay a lot of attention to the eyes when you're watching TV and bits, and it's the same for Mary Jane too. The two of them together, you don't tend to notice as much, but as soon as you put them with Harry, where they've done the eyes properly,
you've done all the side missions, everything. You're 44% through the game. But this feels like there's a lot to come story-wise, because you are.
Oh, we haven't had the symbiote suit. Yeah. Oh, did you find the rock in the institute?
No. What? Go on. No. I
right.
haven't done a lot of side missions.
So they talk about this stuff, but there's a meteorite, and I looked at the meteorite and went, "Is that the meteorite that the Venom symbiote came from?" And it's like proudly on display, and I'm like, "Oh, is that like?" Because they've got some bits there. They've got some like foreshadowing because they had the foreshadowing with everything going on, and there's going to be a showdown between Martin Lee and what's his mush, Miles. That's being set up, and I think. And there's going to be, I'm hoping if they do it right, Spider-Man should beat Craven the Hunter almost to death if they do it right. And the only thing that stops him is going to be Miles telling him to knock it the fuck off. That's what he's there for that. And I'm hoping that happens. Because you're right. I feel like I'm like a third into the story. I don't feel like I'm fully into the story. I think because I've done all the other bits. The other thing too is when it started off and New York was covered in sand. Yeah, it looked shit. I didn't like that. It looked absolute garbage. As now all the sand's gone, it looks fine. But for some reason, the sand didn't work. It didn't look right. It didn't have the correct texture. It looked PS2-ish. It was that bad.
Yeah, it did. It wasn't.
And
good.
I was like annoyed. And then when they got rid of the sand, everything kind of went back to normal. And I was fine with that. And it's very weird. And yeah, but hey, I don't like these flashback missions. I had to do the one where have you done the one where you have to do the bugle, the school one? I didn't like.
I haven't done the bugle one. How's that? Is that not a main mission?
That's not my mission. That's a side mission.
I love the bit where you rescue Jonah. Have you done the bit where you rescue Jonah and take him?
I was laughing.
I
was laughing so hard at that. The fact that Miles picks him up and then the first thing he does, guess who I've got? Goes, who? J. Jonah Jameson. And then he swings in front of him, yelling abuse at him. And I just loved that. That just made me I love that. That was good and entertaining. The other thing too is because J. Jonah Jameson is Stanley. Yeah, it's Stanley in boss mode when he's being boss, telling people what to do, and that was their kind of way of getting back at him. And he was a good sport and let him do it. And the best version of J. Jonah Jameson is from the Sam Raimi films.
Yes.
And I always liked the fact that J. Jonah Jameson was, how can I put it? He was very mean in front of everyone, but the moment your back was turned, he was nice.
Yeah.
So one of the examples is that Peter Parker needed some extra money for something. I can't remember what it was. And he's like, no, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And the moment he turns his back, he points to his secretary and goes, sort him out. And looks after him, and it was just like one of those things where it's like kind of, yeah, and it's lovely. And I got a feeling and I got the feeling when I played that mission there because he's trying to help Peter develop a backbone in that story. Okay, I didn't like the mission, but I see what they were trying to do with it, if that makes any sense. Because if you hear him, it's like kind of, you're a New Yorker for crying out loud. He goes, you've got to be here before I finish my coffee, yeah, and it's like kind of this, that, and the other. He goes, you don't do blah blah blah, and it was just well done.
The only thing that would have made J. Jonah Jameson better in this game is if he was voiced by J.K. Simmons. that would have been just because you're right. The Sam Raimi, and to a lesser extent, I mean, my only problem with J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man 3, the current Spider-Man 3s, was that he didn't have hair. That J.K. Simmons didn't wear a wig. I wish he had, because then it would have been perfect. I loved the modernization of him in Spider-Man 3, the film. I thought it was genius, turning him into like an online guy who then bit of a guy sort of do it. Alex
Jones, yeah.
Alex Jones. Again, it was genius. But I like him in this.
I like the fact that he was the reason he was that because he was fired from the Bugle, and then when you get to play Miles Morales, he's back at the Bugle. They pulled him back on because of the people he was pulling down. And that kind of reminds me of certain news presenters that have been fired from their positions and maybe come back to their positions at one point at that news station. But yeah, the webbing, I don't like the gliding part.
I found the gliding kind of cool in places. I kind of like the gliding.
It's all right when you're going across the river.
Yeah,
it's great. It's the best way of getting across the river.
But
there's some bits in the river bit where you like, it allows you to web the water and pull yourself from the water. It's just a bit dumb. But apart from that,
I like the gliding when you if you climb up one of the tall towers and then just jump off it and then dive and then open up the glide, you get really speed up, and that's kind of cool. And there's bits where you can mix gliding with webbing and you get through things really quickly. So I've been experimenting with the gliding, and I find it useful. It's a speed up thing. It's an addition that I don't mind, and I kind of like. the thing was, I one of the reviews I read about it was that the thing about the 2018, can you believe it was that long ago, the game was that they didn't overdo it. They almost held back with certain things. It was simplistic in many ways, and that's what I think I liked about it. I don't. The combat is still the same, but the extra things like the gadgets, and now that you've got, like, they've decided to give you 4 special moves instead of 1. Right, each suit had that one special move. When you built up enough, whatever it was,
Yeah,
you don't need
yeah.
that system was simpler. You didn't need to change that. It was perfect. It worked. You did not need to change that. What you could have done is given us a few extra things, like the webbing, and some people will use it. You don't need to use it, but it's there if you like it, and some people will like it, like me, and Gareth doesn't like it. I get it, right? But they've changed the mechanics a bit, and it doesn't work as well for me so far. And they've overcomplicated the upgrading stuff. They say again, they changed it a bit in Miles Morales, and that's fine. But they could have kept it there. There's this almost this thing in video games that every version you get, you have to go bigger, you have to go big. You don't. You didn't need to in this game. You didn't need to do that. You could have given us a few extra spider gadgets, and it would have been fine. Given us new gadgets that still fire them the same way. Just give us different types of gadgets. But having said all that, I like the story. It still nails Spider-Man. It does, despite the woke crap, it nails Peter Parker so damn well. It nails the character of Spider-Man. The bad guys, I'm kind of loving Quentin Black's slightly dodgy. Have you done all the Quentin thingies then?
Yeah.
Have you done all of those? Yeah.
I've done the one at the Coney Islands, yeah. It was funny because I was playing at Coney Island.
There's more.
And when you get... Yeah. Have you not done the bit where you have to...
I've done the one at Coney Island, but there's one in the old Roxxon building near Miles's home. So I found that one. There's another one, and it's a time thing where you have to kill all the enemies in under, so it's a time thing. But it's afterwards, like, it's the way he's acting. It's like he's blatantly up to something, right? And I like it. So the fact they brought Mysterio into it, yeah, great, fantastic. Mysterio is still one of my sort of more favorite bad guys.
There's so many. Hydro Man. Go with Hydro Man. Hydro Man was the perfect person to go against Sandman. So there's loads of others. Tombstone again. I like the fact that the first one had Tombstone in, because Tombstone's one of the ones I like. It's just the Vulture. They got the Vulture's going to turn up at one point.
Well, we had the Vulture. We did have the Vulture, didn't we? Have the Vulture where we were having to fight him and the Scorpion, wasn't it? Vulture and Scorpion.
Yeah, but that's in the first game. I'm talking about in this one. He's got to turn up.
Oh, he's got to. Yeah,
doesn't turn up. Yeah.
You've already had Scorpion who got killed by Craven. That was like, whoa. That was pretty kind of shit.
That's one of the things I think that Peter's gonna do. He's gonna finish him off. I really do think that. So I think it's all kind of like building. I'm enjoying it. That's the thing. It's like I played No Man's Sky, not No Man's Sky, Starfield. That was a fucking letdown. That was such a letdown. It really was. The dialogue was crap in it. The exploration was crap in it. The space combat was crap in it. Everything involved with the loading screen. This, you've got bits where you're flying. There's a bit where I launched out of a portal into the Antarctic, flew into another portal and back to New York.
Yeah,
and there was no loading screen.
Yeah,
no loading screen whatsoever.
That was kind
but
of.
But Starfield, I get into my ship, fucking cuts because loading, cuts because of loading, and just oh my fucking word, please knock it off. And this doesn't have that, which is, as I said, it's a lot more interesting.
I am enjoying the game. I'm loving the game as a Spider-Man fan. I'm loving the game. Don't get me wrong. I knew there was going to be woke moments in it, but I don't know. I've seemed to have played more as Peter than I played as Miles in this so far.
I think I think just at the current point in time, I'm just edging out Peter ever so slightly. But it's annoying because you'd think a Spider-Man game would focus on Peter Parker. As I said, I like Miles Morales, but I play Spider-Man for Peter Parker.
Yeah, look, again, I get it, but I like the fact that you do have a choice throughout the game. You can definitely play more as Peter than you can Miles at the moment, and I have done so. Although I actually like Miles's gameplay slightly better with the power punches and everything, but that makes it easier, and I'm a Spider-Man fan. But you can play.
But wait until you get the Venom symbiote, mate.
Yeah, well, that's when it's going to get interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to that. But so far, I look. Is it as good as the first game? The jury's still out for me at the moment.
We have to complete it to do that. You can only do it at the completion.
But it is definitely in the same vein. I love the swinging through the city. The swinging through the city is still awesome, if not even more awesome now that you've got that beautiful PS5 graphics. God, I love having my PS5. And I enjoy the travel through the city. Again, even though you have fast travel, never use it. Never use it because I just love swinging through the fucking city.
Hang on a second. I've used fast travel once just to see what it looked like, and bloody hell is it quick! It is so quick. It's literally you push your finger down on the button, it kind of it zooms in on the map ever so slightly, then it turns into the thingy, and then you're there, like that. It's like that. It's literally. I'm just like, give it a go, just to observe how quick it is. And again, Starfield had tons of loading things on it.
The thing is, I love the swinging because I'm just a Spider-Man fan. The one damn thing this game still does well is the swinging. It does it. It nails it. It nails it so well. And because you have that really lovely graphics, except when there was sand. Totally agree with you there. It's goddamn gorgeous. And the thing is, you climb up the Avengers Tower or the Empire Tower, jump off it, and when you're about halfway down, open your wingsuit. Trust me.
I've done that. I've done that already.
I thought it was awesome.
I've done that on both. I've done it on both actually.
And I use like the fast. I use like the tubes, the tubes of wind you get when you can sort of like shoot through those with your wingsuit. I find that's how
I get across the river. That's how I get across the river.
And then I web swing the west. I wingsuit across the river quite a lot. And I love being in Brooklyn as well, and Queens. I love going to May's house, and and we've got to come back there at some point because we know from the trailer there's going to be a Venom fight there. Can't wait to be Venom. I'm looking forward to that. But at the moment, the Agent Venom. It's just what they're going to do. Harry's going to kill me because at the moment I really like Harry. It's going to kill me when they do that. It is. It's going to be bothering me.
But I've got a feeling that Norman Osborn is going to come up with some kind of formula to try and save his son, and then test it on himself, and then he'll test it on his son, and it'll work on his son, and then all of a sudden he'll be the Green Goblin for the next game.
One of them's going to be the Goblin. One of them.
It's going to be Norman. It's to be Norman. He'll try the formula on himself first, and then he'll try it on Harry. So it'll be a case if he tries it on himself, he's fine. Let's get Harry, rescue Harry. I'll give him the formula. He'll be fine. Yeah, he gives him the formula. Then after he gives him the formula, oh shit, I've turned into the Green Goblin. Oh, I also gave the shit to Harry too.
You're right.
So flying around after Norman Osborn on a glider, it's going to be awesome. I'm looking. It's not even. They haven't even finished it yet, and I'm looking forward to it. So
is there DLC for
nice
this
to play
one,
good
like
game.
the other one? Is there DLC?
Oh, there will be.
This one?
There will be.
And do you think we're going to get what's her face back? The copper. The copper.
What, Yuri?
Yeah.
Yuri. Yeah, I've already teamed up with Yuri. I can get Yuri will help me on in certain parts of New York.
Oh, she's back.
Yes. See, all the guys, all the flamey, fiery guys who keep trying to brand people and set tankers on fire and buildings on fire. She's tracking down them.
How do you do? So, are you doing all the side missions off the app? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm just doing all the side missions that are on the map. So where it's got the map and it says this is outstanding, I'm just ticking it off like my work list. It's like I'm at work and I'm doing tasks. It's a sad thing that I treat that like. But I'm enjoying that more than I would my work stuff.
Thing is, right, I've got to get up in the morning, but I'm going to go and play another round. I just don't know I'm going to do it.
Have you called your dad? I'm just saying.
No, I'll call my dad first. I'll call Dad first. I'll call him first.
That's a real quick one. Are you doing all right? Yeah, good. Right.
Yeah,
Cheers, man. Bye.
Sorry, Dad. Play Spider-Man 2. See you later, mate. Not dead. Great. Right, fine. Inheritance intact. I'm joking, people.
It's ironic because the people who listen to the podcast are expecting this conversation on the other podcast, but we're having it on this podcast because Nigel hasn't bought it and Baxter hasn't got PS5.
Well, you see, yeah, and he's still like, look, Baxter hasn't got taste. We all know that. Amstrad's just better, and there's no accounting for taste. I mean, seriously, mate, you can get a nice new slim PS5 soon with removable disc drive. I know you've probably already talked about this on the other podcast, but I did notice that the other day. I actually don't like it as much. It's the first time that the slim PlayStation doesn't look as good as the fat one. Fat one looks better.
It's just the what do you call it? The height. But then again, I've got no reason to get a new one.
No,
I've got no reason. I'm very happy with it. There's nothing there that makes. I'll be honest with you. This generation of games hasn't pushed the hardware that much.
No, not yet.
Spider-Man's as close as I think I've got to seeing the hardware being pushed. And most of that hardware being pushed is probably the Portal section with Felicia. There were no Spectrum shows either, Babster.
I'm just thinking, I might start one up. Harry Attack.
Hang on a second. Hold on a second.
Still got the Amstrad somewhere.
Babster, Oliver Twins. Yeah. Favorite platform wasn't Spectrum. Hang on a second. And also, you keep comparing the Amstrad to the Spectrum 128K and not the ZX Spectrum. So, and we'll have that argument next week.
Spicy. I'm only joking with you, buddy. But I had an Amstrad, and that's why I'm totally biased. My mate had an Amiga, and I have to admit he did have a really cool Spitfire versus Mr. Smith game on that, but you can't beat Harry Attack. You can't beat Harry Attack for its sheer on the space bar, bombing the shit out of every city you ever saw. So anyway, what was I saying? No, I'm enjoying it. We'll get back to it next week. I will try it and resume normal thing next week. We'll try and do our Star Trek top totty next week.
We've done. I've got the TOS top totty now. The problem is Keith was sending me images which were in my list, but he didn't send me the name of the character or the actress.
Well, I was just pointing out that we were going to do. I think we have to stick to mainline characters. The trouble is,
no. We just pick through the ones that we just go nice, because you had that one that was hanging around with Lurch in the original series.
Yeah, I sent you a picture of her. Yeah.
I looked at her and I was like, oh, she's winning TOS at the moment.
Yeah,
she is winning TOS.
Yep.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. What was I going to say? Oh, by the way, just for your information, Bodies is out on Netflix. So I know in between you sort of playing that trailer that we watched where there's different bodies in different.
Oh, the 3 time zones.
Yeah, 4 time zones. Just so for your knowledge, right? Funny enough, I have an issue of the comic, and I'd forgotten about it. The comic, just so the people are going to go, oh, it's woke. The original characters were what they are in this, right? So it's not. We need to keep on gaming face points. Yeah, I'm there when you guys, can't be asked to turn up because you're too busy on holiday or some insignificant bullshit.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
That. So
no, I was there
and get more views.
Don't give me shit.
No, I'm not giving you shit. I was there. You naturally get more views. I mean, it's just my winning charm.
Don't write that down because otherwise trading standards will come get you. Okay.
I'm joking. We need to keep on gaming Facebook. Still waiting for a Star Wars review in Brummy. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, Bodies. The character is a Muslim in the comic. Just saying, and she does wear all the stuff in the comic.
No,
So,
that's fine. It's fine as
yeah.
long as it's decent. I don't give a shit. What gives me?
I
What
can't
I
tell
don't
you
like
yet.
is.
I'm one episode
Oh,
in.
don't tell me.
I can't tell you yet.
Okay.
I've only done the one episode. It's got me hooked enough to watch the second episode. Watch it and see what you think. I don't know yet. I've got a feeling. I don't know the story. I have one episode of the comic, and then I think it was at the time when I was collecting comics, and then suddenly I had to stop. So yeah, Bodies is a new. Yes, Biffa. It's on Netflix. I think it came out on Thursday. But I haven't
All right.
even watched Loki
If
this
I can,
week.
if I can remember,
I haven't even watched Loki this week. I did manage to watch
Oh,
Gen Z.
Keith.
Mm.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
well, I'm trying to, even watch the shit so I can be here. I watch it so you guys don't have to. Need something decent to watch. Give it a go. See if it's any good. Invasion comes to an end. I've actually quite enjoyed Invasion Season 2 on Apple. It's actually been half decent.
I'm waiting for Slow Horses. As soon as Slow Horses comes back, I'll have it for 2 months and then ditch it.
Well, Slow Horses is in a month and a half.
December.
Time.
Yep. Beginning of December.
So yes. Anyway, my wife's just recently discovered Sex Education, and we're watching season 1 again, and the difference. Oh my god, the difference between that and season 4. You realise how good season 1 was and how bad season 4 was. Even more so now, rewatching season 1. She's at the episode where Eric was teaching all the girls how to do a blowjob, and she couldn't stop laughing. She was pissing herself laughing. But so she's loving it. She's really, really enjoying it. Anywho, I want to go and play Spider-Man, and I need to call my dad first. So see you next week.
Yeah, guys, whatever, man. We're off to play Spider-Man. Have a good weekend. What's left of it? Bye bye.
See you guys.